Alright, so the first two episodes of The Acolyte dropped last night, and I completely forgot. I think that goes to show you where my hype level was at for this show. If you've seen any of my trailer reactions for this show, or just me covering Star Wars content over the last couple of months, you'll know that I've been pretty not excited for this show. It's actually remarkable how not excited I am for this. And when this show was first announced, I was ecstatic for it. I mean, it was announced as like this High Republic thing where it's going to center around the Sith. We're going to see the Jedi in their prime. We're going to see the Sith and Jedi go at it. Hopefully, at least that's what a lot of people were thinking. And then we started getting details. We started hearing things from the actors themselves and the producers and just the creators of the show. We saw the trailers, and yeah, it's just remarkable how uninteresting this show looks. Admittedly, though, there are some things that I've seen over the last couple weeks, like clips, TV spots, that have piqued my interest a little bit, but this is a Star Wars show. This is actually the first where I am just not really excited about it at all. Like, I just have no hype, and I don't know if that's a me problem or if that's a Star Wars problem, just because we've seen the degradation of all of the content over the last couple of years, especially live action stuff. That's more so what I'm talking about. I feel like I leave animation in its own separate category whenever it comes to Star Wars, because it doesn't feel like the same thing. Like I said, though, the trailers have not really piqued my interest. A few clips here and there, some things that I've heard, I'm like, okay, maybe the direction that they'll take this will be cool. Maybe it will pay off. But man, some of the rumors I'm hearing about like episodes 3 and 4 right now, I know we're not there yet, but I'm hoping some of this stuff is not true, because it's lore changing if that is the case. But we'll save that for next week or whenever that does happen. And on that note, though, I'm hoping that this show stays creative without soiling established canon, because I feel like we've gotten one too many Star Wars shows that are like right on the edge of that, like especially Kenobi. All I want is a fun Jedi versus Sith show. That's really all anybody's been asking for, so I'm intrigued, I'm optimistic, but I'm not really expecting much. So before we get started, do me a favor, if you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications, whatever you guys want to do to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. If you want to see the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have up on the channel, as well as early access, you'll find those right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you want to check those out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, I'm kind of excited. So let's go. I've never been so unenthusiastic about a Star Wars show, yet nervous that it's going to be terrible. Like, I've never felt those two simultaneously, but here we are. Ueda. Probably a new planet, but it sounds kind of familiar. Is this the one everyone thought was Octo, or Octo as some people call it?
Where's your Jedi?
Goofy little dude. Okay, this is the scene that they showed us at the Phantom Menace release. The alien design's good. Guys, I'm trying to be fair. If I see something I like, I'm going to point it out, but I'm also going to be pretty blunt whenever it comes to my criticisms.
Yes, my child.
We have unfinished business. Attack me with all your strength.
Yeah, I would laugh too, because that's a strange thing to say.
Jedi do not attack the unarmed.
Yes, you do.
Camera movement's pretty good. How many times are we gonna do that? Blaster getting stuck in the holster. They did that in Ahsoka, they did it in this. Yeah, I can't lie. The hand-to-hand's pretty good. The directing of the combat itself is pretty good.
Who trained you?
There are some shots, though, where it's pretty obvious that it's sped up, but it's still well done. Like, that was cool. What is that on that thing? Is that noodles thing it's spinning around? Yeah, like, I could see the transition from whenever they were going from sped up to normal speed again.
What are you doing here?
I'm here to kill you.
The symbol of an acolyte or something? I don't know. Well, if we're using her logic, you have to kill her now.
To kill.
Yeah. Seems like the Jedi forgot about that. Huh. Right in the heart. Kind of figured that Carrie Ann Moss would be the one to bite it. just based off of the trailers and stuff. I feel like she could have been utilized a lot more. I'm sure we'll see her in flashbacks, but it's probably going to be pretty minimal. What the hell? Minimal. Yeah, dude, the creature design's pretty good. That was not a bad opening scene. I have my worries and I have my reservations, but that wasn't bad. Okay, so I assume this is the twin because they spoiled that in the marketing, and that's been a rumor for well over a year now.
Whoa, inside voices, Pip.
So far, I'm not really getting the impression that this is 100 years before the rise of the Empire or the prequel trilogy. It just feels like any other Star Wars show right now. Like, just the setting, the feel, the cinematography, just everything about it. It feels the
Why
same.
didn't you come out last night? You missed a wild trip to Noshadar with the piloting crew? Yep.
What I do with my days off is none of your business, Philip.
No rest for the wicked.
Okay, so they're gonna... Ah, Nemoidians. This the Trade Federation, then?
Trade Feds never use the shield.
Yeah. I mean, seeing the Nemoidians made me feel prequel. But overall, everything about it, it just doesn't feel like a different era. Maybe once we see the Jedi, I'll feel differently, but...
What is taking so long? Activate the shield immediately.
The mechanics are on it, Captain.
Their grease grubbers are disposable.
They changed the accent. I get it, but... That's a cool droid.
And that was the pressure valve.
Fire in space? What? Like, it's like not just a little fire that just went out, like dispersed, sorry, but it's just like lingering and it's blowing around like there's wind. I mean, I'm gonna suspend my disbelief a little bit just because it's Star Wars. I mean, there's no sound in space and we're hearing the shit, but that was a little bit distracting.
To what do we owe the pleasure of Jedi presence on our humble ship?
My name is Yord Fandar, Knight of the Jedi Order, and this is my Padawan, Tassiloa.
See, like, here it makes sense that the robes are so clean. Just because this is the Jedi in their prime, it makes sense. And they're not off to war, so they're not gonna look dirty and dingy.
The Republic has legislated that only droids may perform outer ship repair.
Sublevel, bunk 23.
I don't know, the Nemoidians, like, with their new voices, like, I don't want to linger too much on that, because I know people have different opinions regarding the accent and whatnot, but they just feel more geeky here. Like, in episode 1, they felt stupid, but they were a little bit more intimidating than they feel here.
What are you doing here, then? I just wanted to pay your old friend a visit.
So how long have you been a mechanic?
Mechanic?
Since I left the Order,
What?
so 6 years.
Dangerous job.
Mechanic, okay.
When did you join the Order?
When I was 8. Lord knows all of this.
A major concern about admitting you to the Order was your age.
And the fact that you were mourning.
8, okay. Anakin, too old? Alright.
The suspect matched your description.
You think that I killed her?
Where were you last night?
Well, does she have the tattoo? Well, I guess Andara's the only one who saw it.
You really think I'm capable of betraying the Order?
That's her!
So we're not gonna do, like, DNA tests or, like, anything like that? We're just gonna take his word for it? Jedi Temple looking good.
Close your eyes and tell me what comes into your mind.
What's her name? Venestra? She's the one with the whip, right?
The Force is powerful. We must respect.
I already like his character, though. Everyone else so far, I'm like, so on, but I'm already feeling a nice connection with his character just because he kind of, so far, is emitting the feeling that you want a Jedi to emit. Compassionate yet straightforward.
We have a suspect in custody. An old Padawan of yours, Osha Anasea.
Gotcha.
She was a devoted Padawan. I see no reason for her to kill Indara.
The evidence against her is strong.
So I take it only one of them was a Jedi, just the one that was working on the ship with the Nemoidians. The other one, no, and maybe was taken as a Sith apprentice, maybe? An Acolyte?
If it were to become public that a former Jedi killed one of your own.
Our political enemies could use it against us.
Yeah, I think they're already setting up how all of this is going to get swept under the rug, and that's why Ki-Adi-Mundi is like, the Sith have been extinct for a millennia. What about the droid attack on the Wookiees? What in the hell? That looks pleasant.
It's a parasite used to subdue violent criminals.
Oh.
We're planning an escape. You win?
The ship's piloted by droids. We're gonna take them out and use the escape pods.
So we put a Jedi killer. She killed a Jedi master. And she's on a prison ship with just droids. Okay. Or I'm sorry, one humanoid cyborg. Oh my god, that's actually really cool. The chairs. Whoa. All of these guys, that dude and including a Jedi Master, guarded by one guy, one robot.
Can you give me a hand?
Bye-bye, Jedi killer!
This is blowing my mind right now, in not a very good way. She's gonna have to use the Force. First time for her in a while, right? Yeah, so it couldn't have been her that killed Endara. It has to be the twin. Just decapitated your droid. She's gonna save this guy, and then he's gonna get the best of her and get in the escape pod, and she's gonna be left on the ship. It's exactly what's gonna happen. What did I say? Dude, the droid chairs are the MVP of this whole episode so far. The VFX, I will say, are pretty good too. I mean, they're always, for the most part, decent enough whenever it comes to Disney+.
Permission to speak freely, Master Sol?
You may.
Where do you keep all the hollows of your former Padawan?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy, man.
And nostalgia. And both of these emotions can lead to...
Our memories are lessons.
Leads to suffering. That's terrible, Yoda.
Beware.
Quiet your mind and tell me what happened to the young woman.
She helped me, and I betrayed her and took the last escape pod.
Pulling information straight from one's mind is like a newer thing, right? Like we had that in the sequel trilogy with Kylo pulling information out of Rey's head. But like as far as Star Wars goes, that wasn't a concept that we saw in George Lucas's Star Wars. It's more of a Disney edition. It's painting the Jedi in a more morally gray situation than they were in the prequels. Obviously, we saw the flaws within the Jedi and why they fell in Episode 3 and just the prequels in general, but it's morally a little messed up. Is this a planet we've been on before? Karlak sounds very familiar. Huh?
Master Sol, I thank you for choosing me for this mission. I should have brought Osha in myself. I apologize for my error.
We leave in 5 minutes.
Yord, put your clothes on.
That scene felt a little random. That gave me Kylo with a shirt off vibes. I mean, I guess that scene was to show he's like very by the book, very serious about what the Jedi are doing, and he wants to look his best, but I don't know. It just felt a little weird. Wait, so this is the sister talking to her from the... Huh?
Wait! You're with me, I'm with you. Always one, but born as two.
The hell does that mean?
May, is it really you?
Yes.
I thought you were dead. Did you kill Endara?
Yes.
So, wait, is she talking to the twin through the Force right now and they're appearing as little kids? I don't know what's going on. Okay, or it was a dream. Or maybe it... Dude, I don't know. I don't even know. That was a little confusing and weird.
You wouldn't believe who I just saw.
Yeah, I have no idea if that was all in her head or if that was like a reality. Obviously, it was a vision, but like, I don't know if she was actually talking to her sister through the Force or whatnot.
I was posted on her home planet, BRANDCLUB. I was there when her sister started a fire that killed her entire family.
Sister started the fire.
I didn't know Osha was a twin.
You couldn't possibly think.
Do you think that...
No.
Dude. This show's a little too predictable.
May, I saw her die.
Yeah, everything that's happening, I'm like, I can see it coming from a mile away. I don't know, there's this weird feeling with this first episode so far that they want the stakes and the story and every element of this universe to feel huge. Okay, I thought Jedi only pulled their lightsabers out when they were prepared to kill. What? But everything about what they're trying to do with this story, they want it to feel big, but it somehow just feels so small. Like, the stakes don't feel very big yet. The sets themselves don't feel vast. Like, I don't know. Something about it.
The Republic and the Jedi Order!
So they're like cops.
Believe me, I did.
Who's up?
Yeah, dude, his character's the only one that I'm, like, kind of into.
Stand down.
Yeah, the whole, like, lightsaber thing doesn't make any sense. Because they're like, oh, a Jedi only uses a lightsaber when they want to kill somebody. And then pulls it out to light up a cave.
If you attack a Jedi with a weapon, you will fail. Steel or laser are no threat to them.
You sure? She stabbed somebody with steel in the heart.
An acolyte. Hills.
Oh, and I'm just gonna light up my lightsaber to look cool. I got some thoughts, but we're gonna save them until the end of the next episode. Ah, boy. I'm saving a lot of it to the end because maybe this second episode will help correct some of those thoughts in a more positive direction, but... Ugh. This literally looks like the same planet that we were just on in the beginning. Like the same layout, like the island with the city on it. It's cool that it got 2 eyes. Is he floating? Looks like he's bobbing up and down.
We have unfinished business.
Does he look like he's listening to you right now?
Attack me. With all your strength.
Why does he look 18 but 60 at the same time? Okay, force field. This is kind of cool. I'm really trying to be nice. I'm sorry, I'm trying. It's interesting seeing like a Jedi outpost or like another small temple that isn't on Coruscant.
Let's say this twin theory holds true. They could be working together.
Yord, don't let fear affect your judgment.
How though? Dude, they're the two most interesting characters. Yord and Sol.
She was presumed dead 16 years ago. But I believe she is responsible for Indara's murder.
Presumed dead? Didn't you say that you watched her die?
Set a course for Olega.
Olega?
Torben is on Olega.
We're not escorting the prisoner back to...
Osha is coming with us.
I don't know. It's just so void of any emotionality. Like, I have no attachment to any of these characters, and we're moving the story in such a fast way that we're not stopping to kind of get to know them. We're getting little glimpses, which is why I like Sol and Yord, because it's done in a more passive way. You know, we're getting to know that Yord is by the books. He's a very straightforward Jedi. He wants to be a Jedi that, you know, is a Jedi. That doesn't make any sense. But we're getting to see that side of his character. And then with Sol, we're seeing he's compassionate. Dude, I don't know. It's something just doesn't feel right. I'm trying to give it a shot, but...
So did you kill the guy?
I was this close and I couldn't land a single blow.
Find his weakness.
So who is this guy? Just like a friend or another acolyte or something? Because he seems to know what kind of situation she's in.
And I will kill one of them without a weapon and please the master.
Or he is the master and just posing as somebody who is not.
The Jedi justify their galactic dominance in the name of peace. And peace...
Is a lie, I know.
Sith code.
That...
So how is she gonna poison him if he can't get through? Okay, we'll see what happens. I'm sorry if there's like a lack of reaction, but I am just so thoroughly uninterested in what's happening. Like, I'm following, but I have no attachment to what's going on, to the story, to the characters. Like, it's just void of any emotionality, like I said.
And I have made peace with what happened on Brandok.
I know you have. That was a lesson you tried to teach me many times, to accept what I'd lost. And I wasn't a very good student.
Perhaps I wasn't a very good teacher.
See, like, everything with him, like, I'm getting this connection now, but the connection to the individual characters themselves, I'm really struggling with it. Yeah, why does he look so old but so young? Like, it's obviously a younger actor with just prosthetics.
Someone spotted a hooded intruder and alerted me, but we searched the temple and found nothing.
But before the gatekeeper droids failed, they caught this little scandal messing about our poor curse.
Don't mean to be rude, but that's a beefy Jedi. I can say that because I'm on the beefier side myself.
Confess your crime to the Jedi Council, or receive the forgiveness you seek. Face the past, Master Torben.
Is he really just gonna drink it? Yeah, so is this all in her head, or is she, like, somehow communicating with her like a dyad? I don't know.
We thought we were doing the right thing.
Interesting. Didn't take much convincing. Oh, and they're gonna walk in and they're gonna say, "Oh, you did it! Look, she's by the body." And she's holding the vial, so it's gonna look like she did it.
Hey! Step away from the body.
Are you prepared to kill? That line is going to contradict, like, most actions in this show.
She didn't do it. My sights were on her the entire time.
He took this poison willingly.
Why would Master Torben kill himself?
This is Bunta.
Like the Bunta Eve Classic? Like, what?
We secure the perimeter. Jackie stays on lookout, and I will confront this imposter.
Or we skip that, and she just talks to him. If he's May's accomplice, we can send her in, she can talk to him, we can record and monitor the conversation. That way, we have a lead on May, plus we also get a confession from him.
I know they're playing it off for jokes, but the relationship between Yord, who's a knight, and then Jackie, who's a Padawan, is a little strange to me. Like, her being able to talk back to him like that and kind of just passively call him dumb and his ideas dumb is kind of strange to me. I get they're playing it for jokes, but not sure it works.
Hello?
Oh. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Does he know something's up?
Are you okay? Did the poison work?
That's it, that's all we need.
Let's pull her out.
Wait!
You look exactly
He does know.
like her. Whoa, 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 wait.
Something's up with this guy. Do you intend to kill Yord?
What is your relationship to May?
I'm just her supplier. Yeah, I started out gun running for the Huts.
Drug guy.
Well, maybe you could supply us with the truth.
Who is he?
I thought he was with you.
That was good. That was good.
If you want to get to her, she'll be back here tonight. I'm holding some things for her.
Yeah, there's something up with this dude. He's a little too smart for who he's posing as, or at least that's what I'm thinking.
I didn't know you were still so angry.
She killed my family. She destroyed my life.
So did the fire kill the family, or did she, like, legit kill her family? Either way, she technically did, but...
Have faith in May. And have faith in me.
Yeah, he's by far the best actor in this show. Like, it's really not even close. He's giving the most believable performance, should I say.
May? You killed Indara.
His moves are pretty good. Yeah, he's quick. With the Indara fight, it was a little more sped up. Like when Carrie-Anne Moss would block, you could tell. That was cool.
You have misunderstood the Jedi arts. Your master has failed you. Tell me, who trained you?
Yeah, this fight is the best part about both episodes so far. That was pretty cool. The way he, like, wrapped her and then threw her over.
Your thoughts still go to your sister.
My sister is dead!
Osha is alive.
Oh, so they both thought that the other one was dead.
In the name of the Galactic Son of the Republic,
You are under arrest.
lay your weapons down and surrender.
That was a little cheesy. I'm not sure how I feel about them just basically being cops. Like, the idea of that sounds interesting, but just the way they're carrying it out. Like, stop! In the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic. Like, I get Mace did that in episode 3, but got Samuel L. Jackson delivering that line.
Oshi?
So they're twins that haven't seen each other in how many years? And they have the exact same hairstyle. Gotcha. You know what? They had the same hairstyle when they were kids. They just never changed it. I'll let that go. I still think that's a little strange, but whatever. That's just the least of my nitpicks.
Your old Padawan going rogue was one thing, but now a trained outsider is responsible. We need to strategize.
But we know where she's going next. We must
We
move.
don't make decisions like this without meaningful discussion, Soul.
You literally know where she's going, though. Like, what? I don't know, dude. This is so strange. He anticipated and reacted to that a little too well.
I can get us out of this city.
Go where?
Kofar.
What the hell's Kofar?
A relaxing forest retreat in the Outer Rim, where the Wookiee Jedi lives.
Relaxing and Outer Rim do not go together.
Oh, she's alive.
I know.
Yeah, is this dude the helmeted guy? The master? Maybe? He's just disguising himself as like a stupid tag-along.
Que puta de seta.
Kava, Tramsky Risky.
Oh, that was very abrupt ending. I'm almost scared to talk about this because I know it's gonna happen. I got some thoughts. I get some thoughts. Where to begin? I'm gonna start off with some of the positives. It took a minute just to write down some of the things that I was thinking. Lee Jung-jae is really good in this. I'm really connecting to his character. I can't say really connecting to his character, but out of everybody that we've been introduced to so far, he is by far the most interesting whenever it comes to his motives, where he's coming from emotionally. Like, he's the easiest to get a feel for. While we haven't gotten the backstories of these characters yet, he's definitely the most interesting. The production itself, it's nowhere near Andor level, not even on the same level as like the early seasons of Mando. Definitely better than things like Kenobi and Ahsoka, but it still has that Disney Plus Star Wars feel to it, where it's like, this doesn't feel grand. Like, the look of things doesn't feel like it's matching up with the level of the story, the level of stakes that the story are presenting. But the cinematography is pretty good for the most part. Just the sets, everything feels a little small. It doesn't feel like the way it did with Andor. Like, Andor was such a small story, such a small scaled problem whenever it came to the overarching problem that surrounded the galaxy, the time that that show took place, the Empire. We're following such a minuscule character in that time, yet the world felt so expansive. And with shows like this, shows like Ahsoka, Kenobi, it all feels like it's being filmed on a stage. And then we cut away to like big grand set pieces like Coruscant and stuff, and then we go and spend 10-minute scenes in small rooms, and it just it feels weird. It doesn't feel like it's living up to itself, if that makes any sense. I do like getting to see the galaxy in a little more of a relaxed state, you know, not in the height of the Empire, the height of the First Order. It's just the Jedi's prime right now. And while I feel mixed on how they're handling certain elements in this show with the Jedi, I do like getting to see what it would have been like whenever it was just them, their overall order whenever it came to things. I'm not sure how I feel about the whole cop element, but like, they're taking it a little bit too copy, a little bit too seriously. Like, stop in the name of the Galactic Senate of the Republic. Like I said in the show, or in the reaction, that Sam Jackson says something similar to that whenever they arrest Palpatine. But in the moment, And the way he delivered that line, it didn't come off as cheesy at all. It kind of felt like just something that they say before they arrest people. And they're trying to do the same thing with this, but it just feels a little cheesy. The mystery plot itself feels new for Star Wars. I'm not 100% that it feels earned yet, but we're only 2 episodes in. Who knows how things are going to change in that regard. As far as characters go, I think that Yord is also a pretty good character. Checky is also one that I think has potential. I'm not sure how I feel about those two and their relationship, the way that they went about handling the relationship between like a master or a Jedi Knight, whatever he was, and an apprentice. Like, sure, we had that kind of relationship dynamic between Obi-Wan and Anakin, but that was a very special relationship. And we got to see the inner workings of that relationship, what made them so close. We got to hear about their stories. With this, it kind of just, they threw us into it, and that's like, oh, that's how you treat your superiors? Like, it just felt weird. The hand-to-hand is also pretty good. It's nothing mind-blowing, but it's definitely serviceable. I'm interested to see what the lightsaber choreo is going to look like, because the hand-to-hand stuff, like I said, pretty decent, nothing mind-blowing, but I'm hoping that they can up the ante, because a lot of the lightsaber stuff that we've gotten has been mid at best. Like the choreo in Ahsoka, I feel like was elevated by Hayden just because he knows what he's doing. He worked with Nick Gillard. Everybody else, whenever it came to that stuff, was like, eh. And there's some shots in that show where I'm like, how did we get this to the finished product? Kenobi had a pretty good final fight choreography wise. The directing was awful, but the rest of that show, anything with lightsabers was kind of just weird. So I'm hoping that they can bring more of a prequel energy to it, and I feel like they will, just because of the time that this takes place. I think the creature design is a lot better than most Star Wars projects we've gotten. I mean, that's one thing that slips their mind almost completely. I love Andor, but there is not nearly enough aliens in that show. But getting out of the positive stuff, going into more of what I have a problem with this show, I'm just not connected to 95% of the characters that we've been introduced to. I mean, like I said, Sol, Yord, Checky a little bit, but we're not really getting a feel for these characters. More so, I'm like, okay, they did a cool thing, I like them a little bit now. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. The story itself, I feel like, is really strangely structured, and I feel like the characters in the narrative would have benefited a lot better if we went in a chronological story. It would have allowed us to get invested and spend a lot more time with these characters before we start killing off Jedi and get into the whole murder mystery plot of it all. I definitely think that we would have missed out on the whole twin reveal thing if we didn't do the mystery plot element, but did we really need that? Because I feel like it was obvious coming into the show. The marketing spoiled it. It was a rumor for a really long time. Like, it's been rumored since they almost announced this show, but therefore the mystery of it all doesn't feel earned. I'm hoping that it builds into something that does, but so far I'm not really feeling it. As I mentioned, Lee Jung-jae is by far the best actor in this show. I think Charlie Barnett, I think that's his name, the guy who's doing Yord, he's doing a pretty good job too. I feel like Daphne Keane, with what she's given, is doing a pretty good job too, but everybody else is missing their mark a little bit. I don't know. I'm just not really into their performances as much. I feel like they're doing serviceable jobs, definitely more than other actors. There are a few actors, like, I don't want to get too pretentious and too rude, but I'm not really feeling the actress that's playing Vernestra. I think she's Leslie Headland's wife. Her performance isn't really appealing to me at all. And I hate to say this because I don't want to come off as rude again, but the child actors that are playing the twins, not really feeling that as well. But who knows, maybe it'll improve as we get to see the backstory with these characters. But so far, that's the way I'm feeling. And since I'm not very much invested in a lot of these characters in the narrative, it's kind of boring. You guys could probably tell that I was bored because I wasn't talking nearly as much as I usually am whenever I'm very much invested into a show, whenever I do these reactions. So this video may have come off as a little bit boring and just me not talking as much, but that's just a reflection of how I'm feeling about the content that I'm watching. Like, it feels a lot more competently put together than shows like Book of Boba Fett, Kenobi, and a little bit more than Ahsoka even, but it's missing a lot of that groundwork that it takes to set a compelling narrative. I'm hoping to see a little bit more combat soon. I feel like those were the heights of these episodes, like the hand-to-hand in episode 2, like I said, really good, but I feel like a little more action would have helped to soften the narrative weak points in this episode, or just both episodes in general. Like, it feels like the narrative is trying to go so quick and get all of this mystery element, plot thread stuff out of the way before we get into the more compelling and interesting stuff. But the show itself is moving at such a slow pace. Like, it feels slow, but we're also trying to get stuff done quickly. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's just the vibe I'm getting. There's also a real repetitiveness to some of the dialogue and some of the scenes that are playing out. Like, it feels like it's trying to hold the audience's hand a little bit too much. And I mentioned this already, but it feels so small for such a grand storyline and the time period that we're going for. And the sets feel small. Not Kenobi soundstage small, but they don't feel vast like they did in Andor. And the ending of each episode felt so abrupt. Like, the dude was just talking and then he randomly ignited his lightsaber and he's like, oh yeah, Sith, I'm cool. And then the episode ends. Like, okay. And then it feels like we're just getting into the meat of things at the end of episode 2. And then it just ends on the Wookiee, on the planet, the forest planet that they were on. Like, we're going from place to place, establishing a question or problem, and then it ends. And I feel like this is not much of a this show problem as much as it is a Disney Plus Star Wars problem, or just Disney Plus show problem overall. But I'm really struggling to get into these episodes because it feels like by the time we're starting to get somewhere, it just ends. And then they're like, better tune in next week because we got some interesting stuff coming up. And speaking of interesting stuff coming up, I'm hearing episode 3 is going to cause quite the controversy. And I'm not looking forward to it because more divisiveness is just what we need in today's Star Wars fandom. Am I right? Oh, God. So as much as I'm not really intrigued by these first 2 episodes, I'm trying to give it a fair chance. I'm going to go into next week's episode with as open of a mind as I possibly can go into a show that I'm not really enjoying so far. And with this show, I'm trying to go a little bit more hard than I have in the past because with a lot of these Disney Plus shows, I get caught up in the moment of it all. I mean, I get caught up in recency bias and just how the show is making me feel right off the bat. Like, oh yeah, cool Jedi stuff, let's go. But when I take a step back and watch it in retrospect or just watch it all the way through a couple of weeks after it's finished, I'm like, that wasn't that good. Like, I did that with Kenobi, I did that with Ahsoka. There are some shows that I feel like get a lot of shit that I'm like, you know, they don't deserve as much shit as they're getting, but they're not great. Like Book of Boba Fett, I feel that way. It's kind of bad, but it's not as bad as most people harp on it for. And then season 3 of Mando, I feel like it's a lot of crap, and I quite like some of the episodes. There are some, Jack Black and Lizzo, what were they doing? But there are also some moments I'm like, this is pretty fun. It has the Mando energy, but so far with this show, I'm just not getting a good feel for it, and I'm not really enjoying it. But it has my attention, a little bit of my attention, should I say. Like, I'm intrigued to watch the next episode, mostly because of the rumors that I've heard, but there's still some intrigue there. I mean, it's better than none at all, right? So let me know what you guys thought down in the comments below. If you're new to the channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button, like button, turning on post notifications, whatever you guys want to do to support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're interested in seeing the full-length version of this reaction or any other reaction that I have on the channel, as well as early access, you'll find those right here on YouTube on my membership page. So if you want to check those out as well, I would greatly appreciate it. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all in the next one.